No Problem. That may be the name of the truck John Moore drives, and judging from this pose, his attitude on life. Once he climbs in the cockpit of that yellow Ford Bronco, John Moore is all business. In the business of racing, the No Problem team is a family affair. John's wife Heidi is co-owner along with John. While she does everything from work on the truck to handle all the everyday business affairs, she's also his #1 fan. This short wheelbase spring leaf truck with the 460 cubic inches of Ford power is a fixture on the monster truck circuit. And while the No Problem team may still be searching for that winning formula, John and Heidi have never lost the secret for running hard and staying competitive. The Midwest, specifically St. Louis, is the birthplace of monster trucks. This nation's breadbasket has a proud racing heritage. It's, of course, home to the Indianapolis 500 and the U.S. Nationals. The men from the Midwest who compete in a sport that's sometimes described as drag racing at its dirtiest also share in this region's rich racing tradition. Powerful machines and slick driving skills characterize mud racing's Midwestern All-Stars, who sport several former champions and many members of the 2-second club, an elite fraternity for those mud racers who cracked the 3-second barrier. And at the top of the list is 1991 indoor and cut tire champion, holder of several track records from Frederickstown, Missouri, Ron Pence and Tater, a Chevy Love with 572 cubic inches of Keith Black power. One of the most exciting performers in the sport is another former champion and card-carrying member of the 2-second club, Tom Meents, out of Paxton, Illinois, in his 32 Ford Roadster, Shake Me. While this is the form that garnered Shake Me the 1989 NMRO Car of the Year title, Tom can still shake himself up on occasion. And at the Indiana State Fairgrounds, home of the famed Hoosier Mile and the Hoosier 100, a fitting place for two of the top cars in mud racing to go head-to-head in a side-by-side shootout. Tom Meents in the near lane, taking on Ron Pence in the far. And when the dust had cleared, Tom Meents and Shake Me had taken the win by just 10/100ths of a second over Ron Pence and Tater. Mishawaka, Indiana's Mike Fair, the 1989 Cut Tire champion, is also no stranger to close calls. His 23 Alter T, the time traveler, can also travel a little too close to the edge at times. Another Bucket T, the 1990 Car of the Year, the Destroyer 3. Rick Keel holds several NMRO national records in this car and doesn't rely on nitrous for power. A big block blown engine by Jim Otte out of New York creates a more subtle explosion off the starting line.
Well, we want something that makes a lot of power in a higher RPMs and that you can throttle and control the power more. And we found with the blower motors we can do that, and then we can also throttle the accelerator so that when we get ready to leave the line, just like pulling up a big rubber band, and when they let it go, it just keeps going and accelerating all the way through.
Vandalia, Ohio's Chad Miller and the Instant T, which sometimes spells trouble. But other times it stands for terrific.
Yeah, happy birthday!
Also out of Vandalia, Ohio, Tom Marsh, who, like his buddy Chad Miller, can also get into some precarious situations. Veteran Mike Erdely had one of the cleanest running cars in the sport. The Mud Shark is one of the most recognizable names in mud racing. This 64 Corvette funny car out of Buchanan, Michigan sports a 525 cubic inch Keith Black Hemi engine and is a perennial top 10 finisher. But even this shark can sometimes swim in troubled waters. But most of the time, the Mud Shark is on a feeding frenzy, and the price of victory doesn't come cheap.
We've got at least $100,000 in this car, and we do all the engine work, and we built the chassis, everything ourselves.
El Dorado, Illinois' Wes Newman and his Jeep Funny Car's Need for Speed can get him into trouble. And Tony Ferroti out of Canton, Michigan in his 27 Roadster Let's Boogie 2. Here, Tony demonstrates how a mud racer on the run makes bail. But that wasn't the last straw for Tony. He, like all good haymakers, come back to shake, battle, and roll another day.